Hello everybody and welcome to the first video on my new channel. We're going to do a let's play on a brand new map. Today is the 13th of September 2022 and this map just came out today. I have watched a review on it and I like BGAs, I cannot lie. So we are playing this game on this map to buy the BGA because it is a modded BGA and it's somewhat unique and I want to play with it. So this is a let's play on Avon Valley on start from scratch. We are going to change some things. I'm going to just use the default here because I never see myself. This is a really cool map. It's a little bit like No Man's Land, a little bit like Western Wilds, Calm Lands, you know, where it has all of the sell points in one central location, and the map is basically a giant playground. It has some rolling hills, a little bit like No Man's Land, not nearly as severe as Calm Lands, but not as flat as No Man's Land, or as Western Wild, I should say. So this, like I said, this is start from scratch. It's going to be hard because we don't have anything at the moment. We have $500,000. Of course, $200,000 of that is a loan, for which we will pay $666 in interest every month. 666. Loans are evil. Right, and there's the modded BGA. It doesn't look like any other BGA I've ever seen. It takes all sorts of different materials. It takes silage, of course. It takes sugar beet cut, sugar beets, potatoes, straw, and maybe a couple of other things. So what we want to do is we want to be able to buy that and stuff it full of whatever it will take so that it makes money for us. It will make electricity, it will make methane, and it will make digestate. The methane you can actually take out, and there is a sell point for it here on the map. I don't know what the prices are like, but usually you make a good deal off of methane. Digestate we will be using to make fertilizer, solid fertilizer. There's a mod that we're going to use to do that, but we're quite a ways off from that. So let's start at the very beginning. We got 500 grand to spend, and we need some tools, and we need some land to do it on. So let's do that first. Here's the map. Nothing on it. There is a grass field right here, and this is ready to harvest. It's a decent sized grass field. Of course, compared to the entire plot of land that it's on, it's not a very large field at all. So that's a possibility because it already has something we can harvest and use to make silage. I mean, let's face it, when you're doing a survival or a start from scratch, you really got two options, or three options, two on this map. You can do contracts, but there are no contracts on this map because there's no one else on the map. So then you're left with the other two options, which is forestry. There is a very small plot where you could cut some trees and I'm sure make some money. But you're going to have to replant pretty soon because there aren't a whole lot of trees there. And once you're out of trees, you're out of money. The rest of the map is grass. So if you're not going to cut trees, you cut grass. And we're going to cut grass. So we can either cut grass there, or we can come down, I think, a little closer to where everything is, and we can start a little smaller because we might want to spend some of our money on equipment instead of on land. Because say we bought this plot, it's 50 grand. That's not too bad. But down here, we can buy some plots that are a little bit cheaper. They're very close to the BGA here, which is where we're going to be taking our silage eventually. And these are nice and flat. So if at some point we decide not to use these for Farming purposes, we can always put production items on them. We can put animals on them because they're nice and flat. We wouldn't have to do any leveling. These have some slope to them, so we could use these to plant fields and put productions or animals down here. So I think we're going to start with these 3 plots right here. So we're going to buy that, we're going to buy that, and we're going to buy that. And actually, I think we're going to go ahead and buy this one too. Okay, and that leaves us with 426, which is, I think, more than enough to get the equipment that we're going to need to make this happen. Now, as far as buying this BGA goes, the BGA is about $500,000. I understand that I could put down a mini BGA or any other mod or several other modded BGAs and be able to put potatoes and straw and all of the rest of the items that this one takes. But this one's on the map, and I want to make this one work. So we are going to work to make enough money to buy this BGA, and then this BGA will make scads of money for us. So that is our goal. So we've got our land, and we're going to mow it. So let's go back over here to the vehicle shop. We are going to look at mowers. I am a big fan of the Swather, and these just came out recently. These are awesome. I've used these. They make a beautiful swath. They're 100 grand. If we go back here, we see the Rossomash here. It's pretty much the same machine. It's 55 grand. So we're going to go with this one. To be honest, the swath's not quite as pretty and not quite as collected as the one that this one makes, but it does fine, and our forage wagon will be able to pick it up just fine. Oh, speaking of, we should probably look on the, speaking of forage wagons, oh no, that's just a tipper, that's not a forage wagon. Oh well. Okay, so nothing in the cell for us. Where's mowers? There it is. And we'll get the header for that one, which is there. We'll buy that. Okay. And since we're so close to the shop, we're not going to worry about buying the next piece of this. We're just going to go mow. So where's my mower? There it is. Pretty blue. There we go. Aha. Please start the engine first. Well, we don't have time for that. So we are going to go into our settings and we're going to change a few things. Let's see. First thing, we're going to leave the economic difficulty on hard because like most of the modifications to the game that you can make to make it harder, it doesn't actually make it harder, it just makes it take a little longer. You can always get to the goal you're working towards. It just takes time. You can get there faster if you change it to easy. It takes a little longer if you change it to hard. It doesn't make it any more difficult. But we're going to leave that on hard. Seasonal growth, I don't think it makes the game more difficult. I think it makes you skip a bunch of months in the winter time because there's just not a lot to do. And I have some saves with seasons on, and I will continue to play some saves with seasons on because it changes the game. It makes it different. But for this one, we are going to turn seasons off. We're going to stick with 1 day months. We're going to make it April all the time. And we're going to turn snow off. Crop destruction. I'm not going to drive in the fields. I'm going to make a concerted effort to not drive in the fields, but I'm going to turn this off. Because if I do happen to drive over the field, I don't want to lose some crop. All right. Because that's not fun, and we want to keep the game fun. Periodic plowing, we're going to turn that off. Fieldstone. Fieldstones are not fun. Turning that off. But we're going to leave lime and weeds on. Now, weeds are not necessarily fun, but I think they do make the game more difficult. You have to plan for them, or you have to plan to avoid them if you can. So we're gonna leave those on. Dirt, normal, automatic engine start, yes please. Stop and go braking, yes please. Fuel usage, we're gonna change that to normal, because why would a game setting make your fuel usage higher? I mean, fuel usage doesn't matter what the economy is if your fuel usage does not change. All right, we are going to turn all these to off. They already are. Now this is, have you noticed how much the price of maintenance has increased between FS19 and FS22? Goodness gracious, it costs a lot. So we're going to take some of the sting out of that. We're going to take all that down to 25, because that doesn't enhance the game for me in this kind of save. You know, the beauty of Farming Simulator is that it's a sandbox and you can make it whatever you want, whatever's fun for you. So this is fun for me. So here we go. We're going to do some mowing. I think this will go through the gate. I'm going to try it anyway. And this is kind of cool. It has kind of a draper header on it, so we can fold that up. Nice. Please fit, please fit, it fits. And we're mowing. So you see what a pretty swath that leaves? It's really nice. If you're just trying to get grass, if you're not making hay, I don't think there's any better way to do it than one of these swathers. I like the Big M. I have used the Big M on multiple saves. Gotta say I like this better. I don't like that the middle mower, the front mower, and the wings are like two separate functions. I mean, it's only one button press to raise and lower it, but they happen at two separate times, and I know it does it for a reason. It just throws me off. This is more like a harvester, and I just like the way it mows. So I'm glad it's around, and it's at a price range where you can actually buy it at the beginning of the game. By the time you're able to buy a Big M, I'm not really sure. You need a Big M. I tend to play saves until I've made a ton of money, and then I lose interest. For me, the fun part is actually planning and executing the plan. And then once the plan has worked and you're down to just the basic day-to-day operation of it, that's kind of like a job. So I lose interest once I get to the point where I've made a bunch of money. So that's kind of where I expect this playthrough to go. At some point, we will get a huge drop of money. I'll do some last-minute improvements, feed all the animals, and maybe replant all the fields, and then we'll be done. So I don't know how long that'll take. We'll have to figure it out. But for right now, I'm going to mow this field. And I think that's where we're going to leave this episode. When we come back next time, the field will be mowed, and you guys can help me pick out a forage wagon. I have a good mod that has some drawbacks, so we'll talk about that next time. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you watching. If you are, I don't know if anybody's actually going to watch this. It's a first video, so we'll see how it goes. If you are watching, God bless you. Thank you so much. We will be back with another video soon, so take care. Bye.